Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Erik Turner, and today we have another special guest in the film room with myself, running back from Arizona State, Rachaad White. Rachaad, welcome to the film room. I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Man, you've been grinding, and it's no surprise given your work ethic and your route to the league and to the draft here in the next week or so. You're doing a lot of interviews, but it's kind of winding down now. Now you get to sit back and for the moment and enjoy the fruits of your labor with your family, your accomplishment, your goal. Of making it to the league. It's 1 week away, as I said, just around the corner. So you made the goal of playing in the league at a young age, but you took an unusual route compared to a lot of prospects. Talk about what you've learned along the way and how much it makes you appreciate things that much more.
Honestly, I learned along the way. Just kind of, uh, like you said, just be grateful. Be thankful for the little things that you have. You can be, nowadays I'm just grateful and thankful to wake up. Honestly, in the morning, you just kind of never know. Life is kind of crazy, so you just kind of be thankful, you grateful, and just keep working. Young guys sometimes you can deteriorate away from believing in yourself, and you can have doubts and things like that, which everybody does.
Yeah.
But as long as you just keep pushing, keep fighting. Obviously, like they say, just brighter days ahead of you, and the work is going to speak for itself. You're going to eventually get a chance and get a shot, and you got to make the most of that shot, that chance you get.
Right. And, coming out of high school, you really didn't have too many major offers. And again, you kind of bet on yourself along the way. Talk about, those stops along the way, whether it was Division II, JUCO, like talk about your stops along the way. The Bills love players with these type of stories. Levi Wallace comes to mind. Just guys that, weren't handed everything along the way and guys that just had to work for themselves and make a name for themselves.
Yeah. I went Division II out of high school. Um, I didn't, receive any Division I offers, and sometimes that's just life. So I was just fortunate and blessed to meet some great guys, some connections, some great dudes. I call my boys still today, and they was kind of older cats, so their time of football was kind of winding down, but I believed in myself, and they kind of seen something like as well in me. So we just chopping up as boys and things like that, and went to I was just kind of thinking about during college and thinking about leaving Kearney
Mhm.
because I went to University of Nebraska Kearney. So it kind of led to that, and they just had some good connections, things like that, and they reached out, some coaches for me, and because they came from California during colleges, and I was just kind of interested. I was intrigued. I was always that kid that want to move away from home and figure out life on my own, and figure out how to do things on my own. And that comes with risks and it comes with challenges, but I was just kind of prepared for it.
Love it.
I believed in myself. I knew that I was gonna work hard, and it's kind of like it's like it's not really an ultimatum, but it was like you had no other choice. So once I left that Division II college and went to junior college, I had no other choice. I had already been Division II, so
Mhm.
I only had one option was that I told myself was to go Division I. And I would tell myself like, I'm just blessed to receive any Division I offer scholarship. And that's what truly how I felt. But I told myself, now you gonna go to Power 5. You gonna get Power 5 scholarships. Like you're a Power 5 guy. And I just put in the work at the junior college. Played 2 years. And I was fortunate and blessed to have scholarships coming out of junior college my after my second year.
And now, at what point along the way, I know you had your heart set, your goals set to be, to go to D1 and then, play in the league. At what point did you realize that, okay, my skill set is is good enough to be in the NFL, is good enough to be D1? Like, at what point along the way did you realize, okay, I got this. I just got to keep my head down, keep working hard, keep learning my craft and adding to my game, learning about the game. When did you realize that you had all of the tools to be an NFL player?
I mean, I believe even going to Division twos, I had all of the tools, all the requirements. I mean, I was added to my game more and more, but like we talked before we went live or started recording. I was fortunate to play in a gun wing tee in high school, so
Mhm.
required me to catch the ball a lot. But at the same time, I feel like my running style was different. I mean, obviously, I watched running backs growing up, like Le'Veon, things like that. But I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't natural that I was trying to be patient. I just understood the game, and understood how to let blocks. It takes time for blocks to to develop and plays to develop. So like you said, it's all about scheme and being smart, but at the same time, I just knew, I was in a great situation, I had a great opportunity, and I can, as long as I can endure everything that junior college, all the the rough times and the bad times that people don't even know about, only my close friends know about. As long as I could, make it and push through them dark nights and rough times, it was gonna, be greater at the end of the day.
Yeah, it makes you stronger in the end. And it makes you who you are, more importantly. And you mentioned, playing in that gun wing T offense in high school. And if people don't really understand what that is, from what I remember hearing, you played kind of that like slot type player where you're part running back, half wide receiver. I think it's one of those offenses like you maybe don't see as much nowadays, but it's an offense that really, as you said, prepared you for the D1 and even the NFL because it's that hybrid type position where you're getting the ball behind the line of scrimmage and forcing guys to miss tackles, but you're also catching the ball out in space. A lot of times moving, on swing routes or like little rocket motions and stuff like that. And it really prepared you in both facets of the when it comes to playing in the NFL because as we know the league is a passing league, and if you're going to play in a passing league, if you're going to play and be an every down back at the next level, you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to catch the ball. You got to be able to block. So that kind of offense kind of sets you up really nicely at a young age to be the type of player that you are now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say for sure that that type of offense helped me up and set me up for where I'm at now. Like you said, it just required you to do a lot, required you to run the ball. I mean, I was like, I was an athlete basically, and
Hmm.
a lot of people don't, you just know traditional wing T, which you got the three running backs in the backfield. They got three hands in the dirt,
Yeah.
but the gun wing T allowed, like, would it be a gun? It allowed, okay, three running backs in the backfield, but the other two running backs, obviously it was a running back there with the quarterback,
Right.
like normal in the gun, but it was also two other running backs, offset of the
Flanked.
tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah, flanked offset of the tackles. So which was smooth. I mean, obviously we go doubles and things like that, formations, trips. I'm out there, which
Yeah.
was very fun and like you said, it just natural ability, things like that. Coach believed in me, and I was just fortunate, play with a great group of guys and be in a good situation that obviously has helped me to where I am at today.
Right. And so as we transition to some of the film here in a second, I want to talk about some of your production. And pardon me if it's a little lengthy, but I wanted to talk about certain things that not only going to translate to the NFL, but obviously that will translate into maybe the Bills scheme if the Bills were able to draft you. So last year, 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, but the 43 receptions for 456 yards, that's 10.6 yards per reception and a touchdown was really what stood out to me. And we're going to break down one of those plays here. But some more stats, man. You scored a touchdown in 9 of 11 games last season, 22 touchdowns in 15 games over the course of your career. You had a first down or touchdown on 44.2% of your touches. Again, that versatility, that every down type back, whether it's, you're getting the handoff or you're getting those passes out in the space on screens, outlets underneath. I mean, you did a little bit of everything when it came to the run and pass game. When you caught the ball, you forced the second most missed tackles with 16 last year for running backs. You had 22 first downs and averaged 2.2 yards per route run, which was second overall for running backs for this draft class. I mean, all those stats really show the Swiss Army knife nature of your game and how you mentioned Le'Veon Bell. You have a lot of those traits. You're a bigger back, you're a long strider. I kind of liken your game to Arian Foster. So you said Le'Veon Bell's a guy that you kind of watched growing up and maybe modeled your game after.
Honestly, I just kind of try to be me. Um, I mean, I feel like I run, kind of how I run. I feel like everybody, sometimes have similarities. Certain guys can kind of do, kind of the same things, but everybody, run style or everybody way of going about it is different.
Right.
And that's, just kind of how I feel. But at the end of the day, yeah, like I said, I just try to be me.
Yeah. I love that, man. I love that. And that's part of the reason again how you got here. Yeah, it's part of your journey, just being you, believing in yourself. And it's what got you here. I mean, there's no point in abandoning that now. So with that said, man, let's get to some of the X's and O's and some of the fun. Running back is always fun to break down film because it's a lot of the position, as you said, just kind of comes naturally. Like as you grow up and you play the position and guys are chasing you, you're going to naturally run away. You're going to start to develop that ability to process leverage, and a lot of that comes naturally. So I like doing running back film and breaking it down with guys like yourself because you get to hear the stuff that comes natural, but also some of what happens from the shoulders up as these plays develop. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. Rachaad, let's start with this receiving game. So right now, you guys are in an empty set. You're to the top of the screen, and the offensive coordinator's job, the staff's job, is to get their players in the best position to succeed. And a lot of ways they did that was, getting you out in space in the receiving game. A lot of times they ran, you on a diagonal route to the flats, or they ran a swing pass to you with a numbers advantage to the field. And normally, again, you'd have a hat on a hat, or two receivers and two defenders. But here in this empty set, you're in a trips bunch set to the top of the screen, but you have three defenders on you. So you don't really have the numbers advantage, but you have a little space here because that defender, that third defender, is really coming from depth. You see that one defender is only up near the line of scrimmage. That's how they're defending this bunch. So I want you to talk about what you saw on this play as the ball gets thrown out to you. And as that, obviously, this guy's running the alley, but he's not the only guy that you have to beat right at the line of scrimmage, right?
Right. I mean, we in a bunch set. I mean, you kind of described it all. Empty bunch set. You kind of described it all. It's only one guy up there. Other guys are like 6 yards back. So obviously, you out there. You're gonna get the ball in that setting because you basically got three guys on. I mean, there's people. Some people say it would be 3 on 3 or whatever, but it's kind of really 3 on 1 because it's only one guy up tight. So I mean, I know I'm gonna get the ball. I mean, my initial reaction would be to try to kind of get outside or whatever. But I mean, I see my block. I mean, I get the
Yeah,
guy that's kind of over the top on us up close, kind of press whatever. He's obviously he got to contain. It looks like
yeah,
so he got the outside containment because that's the first where he goes. So I which is smart because he's trying to force everything to go back
back
inside
inside.
to his help. So I see that other guy coming, and I just know I can make a move, kind of make him miss. So as I see, like that guy forcing me to go back inside, and I can make a move and I knew I would make that guy miss. Obviously they forced me back all the way back to the contain. So as I
Hmm.
make that guy move and you see my body language and stuff, I'm trying to get back outside, away from everybody. So,
Yeah,
um, it's kind of natural reaction. I mean, we was in a tough battle with USC. So kind of the rest of the play is really kind of, really, just effort. Getting the guys rally, getting the guys hype, sideline hype and things like that. But as a same play. I'm just taking what they give, honestly, and I mean that's what they was giving. I knew another guy was coming, so I'll give him a stiff form, and you just see defenders and my team and everybody rallying. Some watching like the play might be over, but that's the good part about football, and they tell you, and sometimes you gotta understand because a lot of dudes do this in football in the league or not, and sometimes you get to spectate. Sometimes, it's a good player. I mean,
yeah,
Stephon Diggs down the field or whatever. So, you might
yeah,
spectate. Speaking of the Bills, but you see guys coming in effort, pulling effort to come catch up with me and things like that.
yeah.
And that was the same thing really on this play. Just kind of get a play, get going, get an offense going. I think we was end up down right here at this moment. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I love how you try to find that escape lane after, he forces you back inside, but you make those guys miss and you try to get out, this front door right here. It really show off your lateral agility and something that shows up in, in all of your type of runs and receptions. But yeah, that determination, it's one of those things like that drive and that ambition to keep driving your legs and holding on to the ball. And yes, this is the type of play that really gets the sideline in an uproar and really gets your offense jump started, really. And it's something that you did a lot for your offense last year. So, with that said, here's another one. I mean, again, still against USC, really showing off your patience and vision. You'll see that from the end zone angle, guys. But his ability to see the second and third level on this play were spectacular, and really the reason that you were able to spring this in for a touchdown. So I want to talk about your scheme, your technique, your assignment. So start off with what type of run this is, where your aiming point is, and then just talk about your reads on this zone type of run.
I mean, for me, I mean, obviously, the run is it's an inside zone run for us. Um, this is our inside zone run play. My aiming point and my read is obviously, yeah, I believe he's in a zero. He's in a
Yep.
zero technique
Yep.
over my center,
Hmm.
and just head up over him. And I mean, my aiming point is that play side leg, the right leg of my center.
Okay.
And I mean, for me, just going about this play, I mean, as you can see, I mean, they too high. So anytime
Yeah.
you see that, a running back love that.
Hmm.
Any day of the week, or you should love that. With the inside zone play, obviously we got the offset little tight end or whatever,
Yeah.
right there offset, the tackle. So you see, like basically the linebackers all shifted over there
Right.
to that side, obviously because that's what they're trying to stop. So me, it's like a numbers game because obviously they too high. I mean, you got this it's 6 on 6. So you
Yeah.
got six blockers on six guys, but you really it's really 6 on 5. You know why? Because you're reading that in. All right, so let's break it down like that.
Yep.
Then for me, what I'm seeing is okay. I'm already going to play side right there. It's a numbers game. How many blockers do I got over there on the zero technique on the end and on that to climb up to that backer?
Right.
Okay, cool. So I know in reality it's gonna hit that side. It's
Yep.
gonna hit play side. So after I know that, like you said, just being patient, things like that. I gotta obviously look at that safety. I gotta keep him up top, a little froze for a little bit. Okay, I froze him up for a little bit. Okay, yeah, okay. So obviously, you see, he thought out. I mean, in reality, all running backs, you are taught to kind of get to the numbers, spring it up the sideline just naturally how it be. So I could tell that safety, he was taking a wide angle because where I looked like I was headed.
Yeah.
And just kind of making a play like you look like you headed that way, and then you cut it back. Shoulders is turned that way on number 7, and he thinking like, oh, he's trying to bounce, but squeeze a little gap and go from there. And obviously, 27, whatever it is, people, think, he don't got home run or he got this, but people don't understand. They look at this play, they don't understand. I just carried guys for like 30, 40 yards the play before this play happened right after that, and
Right.
I still
Yeah.
sprung it for a touchdown. But I mean, everybody gonna believe what they believe in, but I'm just trying to make a play for my team, honestly, and that was what happened here.
Yeah, and that's what I love about your game. A lot of people take shots at the long speed and time speed, but play speed is a lot different. We always talk about that in evaluation and scouting. I really love your processing of this play. It really helps you play faster, especially early in this play. As you said, you talked about that too high coverage. I mean, that if you play for the Bills, you're going to see a lot of that because of Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and some of the weapons they have on the
Come on.
outside. So, right? So, I mean,
So it's
like,
a
come on.
dream. You should
It's a
love it. I
dream.
mean, it's too easy. I mean,
Exactly.
all it is just knowing football, man. I mean, is this what you want to do? So you just got to understand football. Do I know a lot of coverages? No, I don't. Do I want to learn that? Hopefully, I get drafted to a good situation. I mean, like, say if I was to go to Tampa or anywhere, I mean, I always get close to my quarterback. And, my quarterback teach me and stuff like that. But I mean, I was just kind of in college, I'm just focused on the box. I'm focused on, little things, understanding schematically through the box. Now, I got a lot of time on my hands. So now, because, I'm not trying to throw the ball, obviously. But I mean, coverages can help me out knowing tendencies when,
Yes.
like you said, I'm running routes. Okay, where can I
Yeah.
sit this down at? They're going to be in this coverage or things like that. So, I mean, that's just the type of guy I am. I'm just trying to get better at football. And because I'm the type of guy mentality. I respect Josh. I respect what he did, but just trust and believe. If you gonna only have 5 to 6 men in a box, you doomed
Yeah,
against
you're
me, and
doomed.
that's just my mentality. You doomed. You gonna have to bring somebody extra in that box, or it's gonna be to me. I don't, it's the NFL, and I got a lot of respect for it. It ain't easy. I'm gonna work for everything, but
Hmm.
you gonna have a long day. That's a
Yeah.
running back. That should be a running back's dream. too
Yeah,
high
no
on me.
doubt.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
It is. And then again, shifting in this manner to the strength of the formation, leaving this bubble over here is just asking for you to hit that. And as you said, you broke it down perfectly. You had a 3-on-2 nose tackle the linebacker, and you're asking a safety to play from depth to stop you. That's again, that's asking for doom. I love that. And learning defensive structures, learning coverages is important for a running back at the next level because defensive structures, what types of two high, one high looks are showing you affects run fits. And you knew that once you got past that second level, that number 10 linebacker, you knew that the safety was the only guy you had to beat. And if you didn't understand the defensive structure from the get go, like you said, the first thing you mentioned was too high look. Like that right there tells me how much you know about the game and how much more you're obviously willing to learn about it. So with this one, just a total opposite, right? You guys are in a
Yeah.
heavy personnel grouping. You have the whole box stacked. Everyone's right up there, which in many ways is a dream for running backs too. Because once you get past that first level, a lot of times you're going to get six like you do on this play. So let's start with again the state, the scheme, the technique, the assignment. Let me know what type of run this is. Let me know where your aiming point this is on this play, and then of course your reads and what you saw.
For me, this game, obviously, I could tell the play it's a two back power.
Hmm.
But you got, basically, you got two pullers with a fullback on the kick out. Like you said, they shifted to the strength. So you got what you got. I mean, we really got a over front.
Hmm.
We got a four. We got a four Rachaad right there on my tackle. You just kind of know everything getting washed down with a gap power. So I mean, your tackle and your tight end, they gonna trade that back to yeah, they're gonna trade that back to that backside backer. That's
Yep.
where it comes to. You got to pull it. You got to kick out for that end,
Yep.
and you got two pullers. For them two guys right there. So I mean, my aiming point is just is a gap though naturally because the way the play design, you always want to
A gap
keep it
power.
tight.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I always want to keep it tight. To bounce.
Yep.
Because that's what's gonna set up the bounce. So I mean, this play, we came into this. We already know they like to. I mean, you just do your research and stuff like that. This is the type of team you already know they
Yep.
like to kind of
Yep. Yep.
overrun gaps. So, I'm just being patient, letting things stay up. I'm a gap. I'm inside of my pullers, things like that. I kind of overran the A gap a little bit too, because I'm following my puller a little bit, 77, which kind of helped me out good on this play,
Yeah.
honestly. And you see, I'm getting back to that A gap, but as I'm getting back to that gap, I see that that backside safety, that boundary safety. I see him come over the top through that gap. So then
Hmm.
that lets me know he left his responsibility, which is that hole I just hit. The backside A gap. He let me
Right.
know that okay, he just left his responsibility. So now I got a clear day, clear shot. And I
Yeah.
mean, this is a short yardage play at the end of the day, so you really just want to pick up the yardage. But I'm a type of guy. I feel like I'm gonna get that yard, but as long as you do your job. But I'm not gonna just settle for a yard.
Yeah.
So it
This
ain't gonna
was this
like
a third or
yeah.
fourth down short yardage play? I think it was a fourth.
This like a 4th and 1 or something, fourth
Yeah,
and
yeah.
two.
You talked about the A gap power and the down blocks at the point of attack. And that you're trying to kick out this guy right here so you can kind of hit it right up inside those down blocks. But they do a good job. You mentioned this guy kind of spills inside here to make you kind of want to bounce it outside to where, these guys out here. But you do a good job of getting back on your track. Again, it's not always going to be perfect, but you find your track. And then again, you get back, get your eyes back in the right place, and you see that over pursuit from the backside. That guy's trying to make things right on the back end with that A gap open and just that lateral agility, man, and your stride to find that backside gap. This type of vision is for running back hitting a backside gap, just where two pullers, vacated. It doesn't happen often, and it's very rare. But when guys are able to find it, it really shows you the vision that this running back has, Rachaad White. Just fantastic, fantastic vision there. So on this play, it's a little different. On this one, again, I want you to talk about what type of run this was, where your aiming point was, and then of course where your reads are on this run because it's a run that again I think that if you were to go to the Bills, I think it's one of those main concepts, those first and 10, second and 10 type base concepts that you'd be running in Buffalo.
This outside zone scheme,
Mhm.
for us, and I mean, like I said, it's just football, honestly. So obviously, I got the nose right there over my center, but I mean, my read is honestly the end man that ends up, spilling in that little crease that my tight end, my little flex
Right here.
fullback slash tight end, yeah. I mean, so once he do that, I kind of like, yeah, I got to get upfield. Obviously, I don't want to like keep trying to go outside because with outside zones, my running back coach, it's tough.
Shut down.
You try to keep, yeah, it's shut down, but at the same time, say if I, keep going, I'm able, but you never know. Like my flex tight end or fullback, he might end up getting a holding call and things like that. So, I mean, you don't want none of that go. So, what's your resplit? That is like, okay, cut it up. You
Mhm.
cut up. It's kind of time to cut up. So that's my read. Um, and so I mean, I'm just seeing it. I see a little crease right there, but I see my tight end washing that guy down. So obviously, I'm not just going. I'm not that type of running back that just gonna run full steam ahead. And I mean, just kind of blow up to my tight end or that block. I mean, he getting himself a little highlight. He's doing a
Right.
great job. So, I'm just kind of reading it. Kind of not prancing. But it looks like I'm prancing. Just kind of reading it out, bouncing through the things, and end up getting like what, a little 9 yard run or whatever.
A little 9 yard run. And
I
that's what I'm
wish I could
saying.
have. I mean, it really should for me. It should have been a broken run. I got to kind of peep that safety coming up, spin off a little bit,
Spin off
under
it.
more
Yeah.
control, and it's a great great highlight run. So some things like it's a good little 9 yard run, but for me, I feel like I'm better than that, and I could have made a touchdown out of that.
What I love about this is you said prancing, and again, this is why I likened your game to Arian Foster because Arian Foster was so smooth and everything was just so efficient. And he had really good feet, and I just love how you're reading the flow of the defensive traffic. And you talked about that backside tight end washing that guy down, and you stacked moves on top of each other. So there's your first cut to get north and south. You're getting back to the line of scrimmage, but you're also planning this way, almost like you're going to just get up inside and this guy's going to have a free shot at you. So you're really using that defender's leverage as he's getting washed down against him. He thinks, okay, I'm getting blocked right into where, Rachaad's going. I'm going to make the tackle there. So you get him to even commit more left to right on the screen here. And then as you do that, again, now you plant right back against the grain there. And that guy is able to wash, basically two players down. This backside defender is not able to bring it down. And I mean, yes, you got tackled by the last defender, but you do a good job of again protecting the ball after breaking those tackles and cutting back. So that's something that you do so well. You slither through holes very smoothly, and next thing you know, on a zone run that was kind of blown up on the front side, you have a 9 yard gain or a little 9 yard gain, like you said. Like that is an efficient run, and being able to find those creases and hit basically the backside gap on an outside zone run. Like again, this is one of those things that rarely happens. But if you stay on track, you go through your reads, you read the defense really well, like you do here, Rachaad. Those are the type of runs that again could spring you. I mean, on the outside zone run especially. So good stuff, man. Here in the film room, it's fun breaking down some film with you. Now, as far as all of your meetings, have all of your meetings with teams kind of been wrapped up now? And what type of meetings did you have with the Bills, and how'd they go?
Yeah, yeah. So all of my meetings are over with. And yeah, I mean, my meetings was fine. It was fun. Same thing. We just kind of chopping ball, talking shop, and
Hmm.
you know, I met with the Bills at the combine. It was very smooth, very fun. Coach Skip and Coach McDermott. I ended up having a little private workout with the Bills, and it was very fun. Took me through his running back drills he do with his running backs, and it was very fun and very smooth. And I mean, I'm just kind of enjoying this. I'm
Yeah.
kind of ready to know where I'm going. I don't, it don't matter what round, this and that. I'm just kind of ready to figure out where I'm going, and so I could just, head there. I'm just missing football, and I'm just ready to hit the field and put a jersey on, put a helmet on or something. Just run around on the field and with my new team. So.
The draft is almost here, man. What do you have planned for the draft? Do you have family? You going somewhere? What's the plan for the draft in the next week or so?
Yeah, no, I'm just chilling. So I'm out in Arizona right now. I'm still training. Gonna train next week, and obviously that's just the type of guy I am. And me, I'm just chilling. Family, coming out, and we're just gonna enjoy family company and have fun and kind of figure out the next chapter of my life.
We're excited for you. We hope that you do end up in Buffalo. We appreciate you taking a few moments out of your day to break down some film with us and kind of chop it up here in the film room. So again, we're excited for you. Good luck in the future. Hopefully, we are able to do this again once you're in a Bills uniform here in a few weeks here, Rachaad. Thanks for joining me in the film room.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man, for having me. Thank you so much.